Hello everyone, I'm Liliana, Śmiech, Vice President of Warsaw Institute, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's very special event, 3Cs Partnership from the point of view of Poland and Croatia. The 3Cs Partnership project aims to create a formula for cooperation between institutions from the 3Cs countries, supporting the cooperation of Central and Eastern European countries. The action involves building federation of think tanks from the 3Cs countries. Today's event was established thanks to the cooperation of the Croatian Office for Creativity and Innovation and Warsaw Institute. The 3Cs Partnership Program is being financed by the National Institute of Freedom, Central for Civil Society Development, as part of the government program Civic initiative Fund Nowe FIO for the years 2021-2030. We are honored today to host Matej Kečkeš from EP License Office. Hello, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
And Professor Piotr Bajda, political science expert, professor at the Department of International Relations and Chair of International Relations and European Studies. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Well, first of all, thank you for your today's participation in the event, but not to waste much more time. I would like to start. So the 3Cs initiative is a forum of 12 countries plus Ukraine as a partner participant. They have met for the first summit in Dubrovnik in 2016. So for the selection of today's guests at the event is not a coincidence. So Matej, I would like to start with you. How is the 3Cs initiative perceived in Croatia?
Well, the main problem is the information is not quite good. Me as a student, me as a student of political sciences, I didn't even know about the 3Cs initiative until I was on my master's degree. Politics and the ideologies and political parties that are winning are shifting all the time. So the media is constantly trying to undermine the good stuff some presidents have done, and they're just putting out the bad things some political leaders have done. For example, the best example is the initiative of the 3Cs, which was established by one of the main persons was Kardynała, the president of Croatia. So the main problem is the lack of information, and the media is filtering the information because I honestly think that they don't think it's important to the people of Croatia to know such things, and to know that Croatia is actually doing a good job right now. When you see the whole picture, what Croatia is doing on the international level, this is something that's new to Croatia to be an initiator in an initiative, in an international organization. The same goes for Poland, of course, also. And I'm really glad that those two countries are cooperating on a such level, because it's something new. We like to call it's an European Union inside of the European Union. We are cooperating. We are making a new way of cooperation, but in the same time, we are trying to use the geopolitical factor inside of this discourse.
Of course. I would say that the situation of 3Cs initiative is a bit different in Poland. Maybe, Professor, you would develop this topic. So how is the 3Cs initiative perceived in Poland? And is it similar to the Croatian situation?
Well, I think that in contrary to Croatia, the 3Cs initiative in Poland is visible. Very often discussed on different levels, political level, but expert as well. We are able to collect a lot of articles or other examples of public discussion. Of course, it doesn't mean that everything is going to take the 3Cs initiative as a positive project. Because, for example, the part of Polish opposition suspects that it could be used as some kind of instrument to make weaker our relation with the rest of the European Union, or even as a form to build, let's say, anti-German bloc or anti-German coalition. So of course it's more linked with discussion on internal political scene in Poland between ruling parties and opposition than make any kind of influence for the Free Cities initiative as a whole, as a project. It's no doubt that the Free Cities initiative is taken in Poland as a almost personal activity of the president Andrzej Duda, who together with the partner from Croatia was co-leader of the project at the beginning. Maybe it's easier for Poland to put the Free Cities initiative in whole spectrum of activity, thanks the second summit in Warsaw in 2017 with the participation of the President Donald Trump and his support for the Free Cities initiative as a whole, as a Central European instrument to build good transatlantic relations. And what I see as a positive in our case, that on the base of strategic level, it was found a place for the Free Cities initiative in Polish foreign policy strategy. Because I remember one of the comment of one of the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs in Poland, who described our regional policy in the Central Europe built on the triangle, where the Visegrad Group is focusing on political cooperation. Bucharest 9 is dedicated to security issue, but the Free Cities initiative is perceived as a most instrument for economic cooperation. So such kind of idea, such kind of aim is put behind the Free Cities initiative from the perspective of the Polish Foreign Ministry. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor. And well, Poland and Croatia were the initiating members with the first summit held in Dubrovnik, and the next one in Warsaw, as you mentioned. So doesn't the current geopolitical situation mean that those initiating countries like Poland and Croatia, the initiating countries of the Free Cities initiative, will lose the initiative in it? Professor, could you please firstly answer my question?
I'm afraid that we are able to lose this initiative because of one of the weakness, as I observe on the project, that it's the variability of the Free Cities initiative is focused on changing of the government. It means that because in Central Europe, the changing of the government is quite frequently. It's difficult to say that we have a stable political sense, and we are able to observe the changing of the government even last weeks. So this is something what make the Free Cities initiative as a very sensitive project, because unfortunately there is difficult to find some kind of common ground on internal political stance that a few of topics would be used by both government side and opposition as a perspective for the country as a whole, without any variability for changing of the ruling party. And I think that it is why Croatia now is maybe not outside the Free Cities initiative, of course, but not as leader as it was before. And it, in my opinion, opened the space for leadership for others. It is why I see a huge activity, for example, of Romania, and President Iohannis, who is trying to be one of the key figure in this project, and it is why Romania will be host the Free Cities Summit again, in spite of the fact that a few of countries of our region haven't organized Free Cities Summit until now, like Czech Republic, Slovak Republic, Lithuania, Hungary, or Austria. So I think that we are just behind the decision of different speed of activity within the Free Cities initiative, the speed used by different countries. It means this is something what I see as a danger, that it could be a multi-speed project. It means there will be a group of countries very active within it, and there will be a group of observers. And of course, it's the decision of each of the capitals, each of the government of heads of states, what kind of role they are going to play in. But if you put a question on potential dangers for future of the Free Cities Summit, I see the main of it in such kind of manner. Thanks.
Very much, Professor. And Matej, how does it look like from your perspective? And do you agree with Professor's statement that there would be a group of countries that would be very active in the initiative, and also there would be a lot of countries that lost its initiative? What do you think?
Yes, of course. It's that's the main problem, because every country has its own interest in the initiative, because the initiative is not only about one thing; it's about several things. The most important thing right now is energy and the transport of energy. Maybe let's say energy independence. It's what can shift the initiative on a totally another level, another. It can open a new niche in its work, because Croatia is maybe can maybe be more interested, can be more involved with the now really popular LNG terminal, which is estimated to cover 3/4 of our own needs of gas during the year. So basically, if we shift the theme that we're talking about in the initiative to another part, to a specific thing, we can how can I say, we can be more efficient and more successful in whole. But when we are talking about many things, many states will lose interest, of course. And what happens then? Bigger states, they're getting interested in the initiative, and can even push the smaller states down. Then we are just getting back to the old ways, and we are becoming an international organization with bigger states ruling having the main word, and the smaller states having just participating, because how to say, the only thing that matters is participating. Well, we all know that's not it, and of course, everyone wants to have a gain from the participation. And I think really the energy independence and the transport of energy can make this initiative bigger, and can make the smaller states even more important, because the sea is still the main way to transport goods and people, and etc., etc. And this initiative is about the seas. So we should use this part of our this common thing we all have, and to use it the best way, and to transport energy, and to make the best out of this situation, because the best economies were built after biggest wars and turndowns and things like that. So we're not saying we should use somebody's bad faith, but I say we should learn from it, and to use the situation to learn and to shift and to make something worth, and not just coming to the meetings, not nodding and saying yes, 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 yes to anything, and just or even saying our own opinion, which honestly doesn't matter. And that's the thing. That's the main problem why smaller states are losing interest, not just only in the Three Seas initiative. In the European Union, that's the main problem. Why we have the problem because of the parties that are not believing in the European dream. They're always saying that the European Union is making more bad stuff than good stuff. Just because they're not having enough participation, they're not working on the same level. And it's not just only the fault of the bigger states. That's also fault of everybody who has the right to participate, but they're not participating because they think they don't have the impact. Everybody has an impact. That's the beautiful thing about democracy.
If I can react.
Sorry?
If I can comment something.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because Matej, you're right that well, it's
you're right to participate. Please.
Excuse me, it's something wrong in communication. Where is our moderator?
I can hear you.
Okay, so if I can comment what you say, that you are perfectly right. Generally, it's middle size countries, and it's our task to build good communication. I think and I hope that first of all, Poland is not trying to use its power on the regional level. And what is important for me is a lesson of Visegrad Group, because it's the first example of unbalanced project, when one Poland is much bigger than the rest of the of three of participants, and even that it's a lot of difference among us. The Visegrad Group has existed more than 30 years. So I think that Warsaw is able to find this the balance, how to from the one side is to be a leader as the biggest country in the region, from the other side not to persuade or even push others to the same direction, but give the opportunity and open space for discussion. And it's true that energy is one of the biggest common question and biggest common challenge, how to manage it, especially in the face of the war in Ukraine. And I think that the energy security is the perfect issue to build this coalition between small countries and middle-sized countries. Because if we would like to build corridors, links of communication, of transport, from the north to the south, and vice versa, we have to keep good communication with small countries like Czech Republic, Slovakia, or Slovenia. Otherwise, it is not possible to do. So this is from my perspective and on the basis of my research, it's a very good example how to build good communication among political differences, different size of corporations, nations. And it is why this is quite good opportunity to be some kind of model institution also for others.
Professor, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to apologize for my technical problems. I lost internet connection for a couple of minutes. And I also wanted to tell you that there are some problems, I think, with your microphone. I'm not sure whether, Matej, you could hear Professor very well, but I had some interruptions in the...
I had some interruptions, but it's fine.
Okay. Would you like to comment on the professor's statement, or...
No, I mean we agree mostly on each other. I'm just it's the same thing. We have the same interest, the same ideas. So yeah. Basically, I totally agree with you.
Okay, perfect. And Matej, you also mentioned the right to participation in your statement. And well, at the Riga summit in June this year, well, on Poland's suggestion, Ukraine was offered the status of 3Cs partner participant. So, what do you think? Whether the closer relations with Ukraine will weaken, or it will strengthen the 3Cs initiative? What do you think?
It's gonna do both, I think, but it's it's gonna mostly strengthen because when we have a problem and we all get to, I'm gonna sound pathetic, but it is like that. When you have a problem and we all go together for it, we can find some answers to some other problems, because we are overcoming some arguments from the past, and we are working towards a better future. So basically, giving the Ukraine to the opportunity and working with them can give us an opportunity to work with each other. That's what history is telling us. I'm not saying it's going to be the same here, and I'm not saying that the only the best way to make the 3Cs initiative is to just give Ukraine membership. Of course not, and that's not what I think as a member, as a citizen of the European Union. But I'm thinking honestly that Ukraine can participate and can help the 3Cs initiative. The most obvious thing how is we as an initiative, we're going to have bigger access to the Black Sea. Of course, there are problems now there, but we can talk about the western coast of the Black Sea that Ukraine has access to, and of course as I told before, to get the togetherness, and we are constantly talking about that we are helping Ukraine. No, the 3Cs initiative is not helping Ukraine. They are cooperating with Ukraine. They want to be in a cooperation. Other international organizations are helping Ukraine. Ukraine is helped with military, with financially, with it's not helped with just giving them memberships. And Free Seas Initiative is not such an international organization that has to have a statement on the big scene, that have to condemn or to support somebody. They are just working together for a common good. So it's not I will say that the Free Seas Initiative is not so much a political organization as it is much an economical, because we are working for a better economics, better opportunities. We're not establishing countless numbers of councils and units and etc. etc. So we are not going towards a political union. We're going towards an economical union. That's my opinion. That's my view of it, and that's the only goal we should make, because making a political union with European Union states inside of the European Union would just be, well, it wouldn't make any sense. So we are just using the geopolitical context we are all in order to make the best gain out of it. And of course, getting Ukraine with us, let's put it like that, is only giving us larger way and more opportunities to work and to start some new projects.
Could you please maybe clarify, so what kind of areas of cooperation should be a priority in the context of cooperation between Three Seas Initiative and Ukraine? Like, what do you think should be number one in the cooperation as a, I don't know, first point?
As I told before, the energy is right now the biggest concern that the Europe and the whole world will have and has, and we need to work towards it. It's not just gas. It's not just lack of gas and some policies that are working against states that are doing bad things. When we are talking about global warming, we are talking about real things that we are seeing every day. That's the thing that Ukraine that we would have gains if we would work with you together with Ukraine, because of the territory it has, the geopolitical, I don't know. The geographical, all the terms that Ukraine has can help the initiative towards making some new goals and some new plans for the greener future.
Sure, thank you very much. And Professor, what do you think about this? Do you think that the Ukraine will deepen cooperation in the region of Baltic, Black, and Adriatic Seas?
Well, first of all, I think that probably is the time to open a polemic with Matej, because when we are talking about Ukraine and Free Seas Initiative, of course, Matej is right. It's a challenge for our region, is a chance, at the same time, is the threat. But Free Seas Initiative, first of all, Free Seas Initiative is a political project, because it's leading by politicians, and in hands of politicians, it's all possibility to decide what kind of direction the Free Seas Initiative will be developed in future, and because, in my opinion, Free Seas Initiative is a political project, it means that it's open a space for participation of Ukraine within it, and I'm happy that during the last summit it was found some kind of new formula, what is called, let me check it, what is called participating partnership. And why I think that from this perspective, the Free Seas Initiative could be a chance and bigger involvement or deeper involvement of the Ukrainian within the project will be positive factor in perspective of our regional cooperation, because it could be very useful tool of Europeization of Kiev. It means not, of course, it's not obvious that the first task is to use Free Seas initiative as a useful tool to build new connections, especially in new project in infrastructure and energy diversity, and involve Ukraine in it. And but it's important maybe to underline that partly it was already done, because Ukraine is a partner in few of the projects prepared for the special list of common interest, what potentially will be financed by Free Seas Invest Fund in future. So from plan perspective, Ukraine is a part of Free Seas initiative, as well as Moldova in few of the project, as well as even Serbia or Montenegro. So at the moment of prepare the first list of common interest of project in infrastructure, in energy and digitalization, what was positive, it was keep open doors for our partners outside this 12 Central European countries. But now, of course, today we are able to divide our time before war and after war, and now because of this new geopolitical situation, we are able to use Free Seas initiative as a Europeanization tool to support Europeanization of Ukraine, and as well as to give Ukrainian the one of the next platform to be presented within the European Union states during the summit, during the other public debates, what I think will be useful for this steps of Ukrainians towards European Union, and it could be useful for Central European countries as a group of European member states interested in positive Europeanization of Ukraine in future.
Thank you very much, Professor. I would like to stay with you because we have one question from our viewers, from Ben Shabo. So what could be the initiative's role in the reconstruction of Ukraine and the European recovery? Because you mentioned the union, of Ukraine, but what could be also a role of this initiative in the reconstruction of Ukraine?
Well, of course, it's a complex question, because we are able to see that, first of all, Free Seas initiative has own tool to be able to be used for reconstruction of Ukraine. It means Free Seas Fund, and of course, it's decision of donor, it's decision of politicians, it's a decision of the board of the fund if such kind of instrument could be used as a separate path, just next to this investment activity what is already done, and Free Seas initiative could be used as this platform of political support to collect more money for reconstruction of Ukraine, and as the voice of the region focusing the interest of the world, even in transatlantic relations, and to present the importance of activity in Ukraine in these reconstruction processes as a part not only of the reconstruction, but at the same time as a plan of modernization of Ukraine. And it is something what could be added value of our region in such kind of processes.
Thank you very much, Professor. Matej, could you also develop your perspective whether the Three Seas Initiative can have a role in the reconstruction of Ukraine? If so, then in what type of areas could it be?
I honestly think that it can, and it can help them with planning, with smart planning, strategic planning, in what the Three Seas Initiative is all about. We are still, as I said, searching what we want to actually do, what our priority should be. But all in all, yes, it can help, and it can provide more than some international organizations because it's more specific. And not only with policies, with strategies, with knowledge. It's more specific with one thing that it's really specific just for us. It's the mentality, Eastern mentality, Southeastern mentality. We are constantly talking on the Balkans about the mentality of Slavic people, that we are functioning quite different than the rest of Europe, and we are usually finding solutions more faster between us than between the Western cultures, which is actually true and false and in the same time, because we have this temperament. But yeah, the perspective of the people in the Free Seas Initiative can help Ukraine with planning, with strategies, and with getting back on its feet in some parts, some discourses that the West cannot help them, because the West is only talking about money, projects, infrastructure. We can more see it on a human level, and that's what we are best of.
Okay, perfect. Well, we are best at it, but I think also money and projects are important as well in
They are,
the
yeah.
context of reconstruction of Ukraine.
But that can anybody do.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And also, well, next summit will be held by Romania, and the leaders will meet in Bucharest in 2023. So, Professor, what can we expect from the summit? Are there any key decisions? And maybe there would be some plans regarding Ukraine. What do you think?
Well, it's I think it's difficult to precise what kind of decision will be made in Bucharest next year. But what it's sure for me is that it will be very active time. I would like to come back to the situation on the last summer when President Iohannis said that thanks to taking this role to be the host of the summit in 2023, Romania is taking at the same time presidency in the Free Seas Initiative. What I see as a ability to be active actor to use this time between summits to be not only technical organizer, but also the center of discussion of the future of Free Seas Initiative. And what can we expect? First of all, from individual Romanian point of view, I expect to use this time by Bucharest to underline its role in the project, underline its role in the Central Europe, probably also underline its role as a middle-sized state, important in Black Sea area. Important as a key factor to build infrastructure communication, even important state in saving energy, building energy security architecture in the region and in European Union as well. Probably what could be positive for Free Seas initiative, it will be also the time, this time it will be used to present that Free Seas initiative is a important part of European Union, because President Iohannis participated in the tour to Kiev together with the German Chancellor, President of France, and Prime Minister of Italy. It means that Bucharest is trying to be in the core of European Union, and in good relation with the biggest capitals of Western Europe. So I think that it is why I think that this time will be used to present this regional formula of cooperation as an important part of the European Union as a whole, the specific region of new states and eastern part of the European project.
And Matej, what are your expectations regarding the forthcoming summit? Are they similar to Professor, or you have different opinion?
I just think that the main thing, the obvious thing that could happen is that new states could emerge as new potential members, because it's now more than ever obvious that keeping it up together is better than doing it solo. So we can see it on NATO, we can see it on the European Union, and why not to perceive it through the context of the Three Seas initiative. So yeah, basically we have a lot of states that have the same common thing as the states in the Three Seas initiative. They have a big open coasts that can provide some new levels of thinking of working in the Free Seas initiative, but they are not in the initiative yet, and they're not members yet. So the names could emerge. Ukraine could be possibly. It all depends on the situation in the war, but it could possibly be a full member state. The special name for it could be gone, yeah, I think the initiative could be larger, and it could, as I told before, narrow the things that they are narrow the priorities of the initiative. So because the things that when the Free Seas initiative was established, we didn't know what we actually need. We were just going towards the future. Now we see what the most important things are now, and the world is shifting every day on a such fast basis that we cannot comprehend. We couldn't comprehend it a year before, or 2 years before, or even 10 years. What was happening then? Right now, we really need to think about what is important to us, and we need to, but in the same time, to think about how can we solve these problems together, and to use each other's abilities, not to use some other country in order to get for a personal gain, but to use each other's abilities in order to get the best solution for everybody.
Thank you very much, Matej. And I have a last question from one of our viewers, from Michael Verbowski. Could you comment on the regional role of Visegrad 4 in the Treaties Initiative? And well, if there's any at all, Professor, could you please start with answering the question?
It's a tough question, especially today, because of the policy of Budapest towards the war in Ukraine. But I think that, first of all, I see Visegrad Group as a good example of a model form of cooperation in the region, because lack of institutionalization give the Visegrad Group flexibility to build different models for different times and facing different challenges. It means, for example, when in 1998 it was necessary to help Slovakia to speed up process of integration with European Union, Visegrad Group was ready to do it. And this model of weak institutionalization as an opening space for flexible activity, I think it's something what was used to form Free Seas Initiative. And also another thing is a model of build something outside, but very close, linked with the core, in the form of International Visegrad Fund and a Free Seas Investment Fund. It means using this political umbrella of V4 and Free Seas Initiative is built some kind of solid finance instrument to give a chance to achieve goals of both of projects. Visegrad Group is some solid regional formula of cooperation because of this tradition of 30 years of activity. It means that something else what could be positive in Visegrad Group activity in the context of nowadays situation is that V4 showed that it's not necessary to be agree in each of topics to build something common on base of regional cooperation. And this example probably will be also used by Free Seas Initiative, because it doesn't mean that today it's difficult to find agreement among 12 states participated in. And of course, it will be much more difficult to build agreement on consensus among, for example, 15 or 16 states. If this formula of participating partnership as a first step will be used in future, and it will be offered, for example, to Macedonia or Serbia or Montenegro. I see that generally I see Visegrad Group cooperation as a positive model, which give the region a few of useful lesson how to be together, not agree in 100%.
Thank you very much, Professor. And Matej, what do you think? What is the role of group in the
I can't hear you. We have some issues.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So what do you think? What is the role of V4 in the Treaties Initiative? Is it strong? Is it weak? What do you think?
Well, it is strong for the states that are in, but it wasn't so strong before 2022, of course. Now everybody can see why it is important to have a stronger union inside the European Union regarding the geopolitical term, regarding the things that the countries are best to do. I think that we can see by Germany wanting to be a part of it can tell us is telling us enough that the Free Cities Initiative is strong, is important. Even some other Western countries, even those maybe could be rumors or not, but other Western countries want to be a part of it. So we see that whenever some other countries want to be a part of a group, then this group is obviously doing a good job. That's the rule. I don't see why should we stop doing the work that we are doing right now. We just need to find our niche and to find our corporations, because the states are the member states are too different and too similar in the same time, and that can be a big problem when making a common conclusion. But all in all, I think they're doing a good job, and the idea is what's the best about the Free Cities Initiative. And the idea is only in the beginning, and we need to give it some time to develop. And I honestly think that in the future, the Free Cities Initiative can really be have an important role when we're talking about deciding and working on an international level.
Thank you very much. I think that is very well said. Well, many thanks to you. Many thanks to Professor. Thank you for joining us today. Many thanks to Matej for joining us today. Thank you very much. Also, many thanks to our Croatian partner, Croatian Office for Creativity and Innovation. Well, the event will be available on our Facebook, YouTube channel, and at 3cispartnership.com and warsawinstitute.org. So to be sure to share today's event with those who might be interested in it. Thank you so much for joining us again. We will see you next time. We're already inviting you for the next event of the 3CIS partnership. And also many thanks to the National Institute of Freedom Center for Civil Society Development as part of the government program Civic Initiative Fund, Nove FIO, for the years 2021-2030. Thank you so much for joining us today, and see you next month. Bye-bye.
Right.
Goodbye.